Hey, and welcome to Making Munch with Mike, a TV show all about me, Mike, making my munch, which is a sausage that I cook in a fry pan. It is too cold. Too cold. There we go. What a day. We're talking today about surviving lockdown tips, what tips you have. For me, it's making these terrible movies. That's a big tip from me. So I'm just going to fix the light here because I figured out I was kind of using my light a bit wrong. Well, it was annoying me a lot, like shining straight into my eyeballs. Yeah, it's not the most comfortable thing. But yeah, tips for surviving lockdown. I'm not really a huge repository of wisdom. Maybe a suppository of wisdom. Am I right? That's a suppository joke. Pretty well, to make a suppository joke, all you need to say is suppository. My favorite suppository joke to make is to say book suppository. It's the most painful version of the Matrix in any of the multiverses. Ooh, I watched Loki last night. I'll try not to spoil that. Lol. But yeah, tips. I think getting outside, getting some sunshine on you, it's a big tip. So my ideal is to go for about an hour-long walk each day, which, like, that sucks up a lot of time, but it's time outside. It's much better for me. So some of the places I walk, no one, completely dead, fantastic. Some bits where I'm like, oh, that's the nicest bit to walk. Everyone's walking there because it's the nicest bit to walk. So, that's all right. But yeah, it does take up a lot of time. So I think second tip is then don't worry about anything ever during lockdown, because lockdown, you got like the ultimate excuse. Why would you not, lean on it all the time and just be like, lockdown. Sorry, I forgot how to pick my nose because of lockdown. I don't know why someone would be demanding that I pick my nose, that I would need an excuse for not picking my nose. I think in general you would need an excuse for picking your nose, not an excuse for not picking your nose. Anyway, yeah, I think I heard during last year, during lockdown then, it was kind of like people operate at like 60% capacity at home. I'm like, let's get that number down, baby. I can drop that. But yeah, you just got to recognize less can happen. People can just do less. You can do less. I can do less. Everyone can do less. That's good. Yeah. That's sad as well. It's like, oh, I like to do more, but the situation I'm in, it's where we are. Anyway, that was tip number 2. Don't worry about it so much. Tip 3, have a hobby. For me, doing a bit of this, weird videos. What other hobbies do I take up a bit more during lockdown? I think I tend to make more memes. I think I've got more time at the computer, just sitting in lectures and whatever else. So more time to make memes. More time where someone says something, I think that'd make a good meme. But now, instead of just being like, someone should make that into a meme, I make it into a meme. And I do it. I do sometimes make memes outside of lockdown. Actually, I first started making memes before lockdown, so, that's a fact. But, yeah, making memes. Memes the dreams. Bit of fun. Making memes. Other things, I think I was reminded to try to make your hobby not screen time, which, you know, this is screen time, making memes screen time. So do it without the screen. So you can make a meme without a screen, just draw it by hand. It's good. I wrote a poem this morning. Wrote a poem. It was going to be a fine poem, totally okay. It was a sonnet, because I mean, do I write anything except sonnets? No. No is the answer to that. I only write sonnets. Rach showed me a meme one time, and it said, if a man writes a sonnet for you, it means he loves you. If a man writes 50 sonnets for you, it means he really loves sonnets. And I'm like, oh yeah, sorry darling. Turns out I just like writing sonnets. And they're fun. They're fun. They're easy to write, they're easy to read, only 14 lines. So good. The other thing this is the string I've added to my bow lately with writing sonnets, is to count my syllables. I never did that before, not in my life. But Rach is like, one time Rach and I were going to write a poem together, collaborating. Oh. One of the greatest artists I've ever collaborated with, my wife Rachel. Anyway, we collaborated, wrote a poem together, and she's like, how many syllables each line? And I was like, what? But yeah, so set your number of syllables, and then start writing the poem. Not really. Actually, the way I do it now, figure out what your first line is, because that's the easiest thing, because that's when you know you want to write a poem. You've written your first line, isn't it? I think it is. Figure out how many syllables are in that line, then write your whole poem based around the one line you thought of. It's easy. Because so writing poems, right? We think of words all the time, every day. We use words a lot to talk. Actually, probably to talk less during lockdown. So we'll skip ahead past hobbies. Tip number 4, call someone. Someone suggested that today, and I was like, oh, that's a good tip. And I've been doing a little bit of calling people, particularly on Sunday. And they were saying particularly don't like FaceTime them, don't use Facebook Messenger to look at them, like telephone call, talk to them without looking at them. I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, it's a good idea. Anyway, yeah, so doing a poem, use words all the time when you're on the phone with your friend or whatever. And sometimes there will be something that has a bit of rhythm to it. There will be something that has like, there was a bit of alliteration or a bit of assonance there. I like that. Or just anything. You don't need much. And then, once you've got that line, you just need another 13 lines. And if you did one, you can do another 13. It's easy. So, any old words you happen to use, that's your start of your poem. Then you write the rest of it. Easy. Although, admittedly, the poem today started because I wanted to say saved instead of healed or something. I don't know. I was just talking to myself, obviously. No one else was talking to me at that time of the day. I was like, instead of actually remembering that when you're sick, you get better, you heal or something, I said saved to myself, and I was like, haha, saved from sickness. Bam, there's a whole poem right there, so easy. I thought it was going to be a gospel poem about how Jesus saves us from sickness. In the end, I wrote it about 2 imaginary horses. So, that's lucky. Pocky and Chocky, great horses. I'll tell you about Pocky and Chocky some other time. They probably deserve a video each, but we'll get there. So yeah, what were the tips that I said? I don't know. Get outside, go for long walks. Don't stress, just be happy with low output. Do a hobby and call people on the phone. There's 4 good tips. And cook your own lunch. Cook a sausage for lunch every day and record yourself doing it and put it on YouTube. That's tip 3. That's hobby. Anyway, well, this has been Making Munch with Mike. I'm going to turn this pan off because it's too hot. Started with the pan too cold, then up to too hot. Ooh, full circle, man. Or straight line, I don't know what you're going to call it. Anyway, adios, amigos. Andale!